Ria TV, True FM.
Say Ria TV, True FM.
On Ria TV,
into True FM 96.1.
what's the meaning of the black barrier?
The black barrier is to tell Joseph Bakala, if you don't organize yourself in a respectful manner, we'll take your plate.
You might say what you want to say, but for us, we are here to make sure we build our country.
1 FM. Today is Monday, February 3, 2025. My name is Marka Davis. Presenting this news program is powered by Orange Liberia and EcoBank Liberia Limited. The top stories we are following tonight: Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency arrests 37-year-old Kenyan woman with 8.642 kilograms of heroin worth over 388,000 United States dollars. Ministry of National Defense announces calendar of activities marking this year's Armed Forces Day celebration. Magistrate David Pody finally discharged from hospital after attempting to commit suicide, allegedly for being excluded from President Bouakai's reappointment of magistrates across the country. And of the home front, U.S. President Donald Trump says he will cut all future funding to South Africa over allegations that it was confiscating land and treating certain classes of people very badly. The details of these developments, including the bulletin of news, voices of the newsmakers, sports, are all part of this presentation. We're taking a short break to be back.
Ria TV, True FM.
Say Ria TV, True FM.
On Ria TV,
into True FM 96.1.
Joining us, let's bring you now the bulletin of news on News Decks tonight. The Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency has arrested a 37-year-old Kenyan national, Lana Arondo, at the Ravos International Airport for attempting to smuggle 8.642 kilograms of heroin into the country. Madam Arondo was intercepted on February 1, 2025 at around 3 a.m. upon her arrival on Ethiopian Airlines from Thailand via Addis Ababa. LDA officers discovered the illicit substance concealed inside a frame of a canopy. The seized heroin has an estimated street value of US $388,890. During initial questioning, Arondo confessed that a Nigerian man named Alex, residing in Thailand, had given her the package to deliver to a Liberian contact, Abel Soma Bedia. Speaking Monday in a news conference, LDA Director General Anthony Sewell said both Abel Bedia and Madam Arondo are undergoing preliminary investigation at the Ravos International Airport by the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency. An associate magistrate of Compound 3 Magisterial Court in Gbarntolmah County has been discharged from the SD Cooper Hospital in Monrovia after he attempted committing suicide. Magistrate David Fody was discharged on Sunday, February 2, following 2 days of intensive medical care at the hospital. His attempted suicide, according to RCR judicial correspondent, was reportedly triggered by his exclusion from the list of magistrates reappointed by President Joseph Boakai, as was posted in the Magistrates Class 2 chat room. Prior to Magistrate Fody's attempt to take his own life, he dropped a note in the chat room pleading with the Chief Justice to take care of his children. RCR judicial correspondent further said his attempted suicide has drawn the attention of the National Association of Trial Judges, but they are yet to comment on the matter. It can be recalled in January 2025, President Bouakai reappointed over 150 magistrates to serve for another 4 years, consistent with Chapter 7, Section 7.5 of the Judiciary Law of Liberia. But over 10 magistrates were excluded from President Bouakai's reappointment, including Magistrate David Fody. The Ministry of National Defense has released the calendar of activities marking the 68th anniversary of the Armed Forces of Liberia. Addressing a joint press conference in Monrovia on Monday, the Director of Public Affairs at the Defense Ministry, Anthony Marka, disclosed that on Tuesday, February 11, the AFL will be celebrating its 68th Armed Forces Day and 117 years of existence dating back to 1908. The Armed Forces Day celebration has always been used as an opportunity for the public, foreign guests, and dignitaries to be acquainted with activities regarding the development and progress within the AFL. Anthony Boakai disclosed that this year's theme for the 68th Armed Forces Day is sustaining peace and securing security through stakeholders' engagement, the role of the Armed Forces of Liberia, while the topic for the symposium this year is effective stakeholders' engagement through interagency collaborations for the enhancement of sustainable democracy. According to Boakai, the 68th Armed Forces Day celebrations, which began on February 2, is interspersed with several activities, including the AFL in collaboration with the Athletics Federation of Liberia. We have an athletic event termed as the Captain versus Dean 7.5K run. As Liberia joins other countries around the world to celebrate World Wetlands Day, the executive director of the Environmental Protection Agency has declared the lack of power to arrest, something he said has become an impediment to the achievement of full environmental compliance in the country. Speaking to RCA News on Monday, Dr. Emmanuel Yapaulu said attempts to protect the wetlands from the construction of properties and the misguided dumping of garbage in Liberia have not yielded the needed results due to the lack of power to arrest violators of the law governing the sector. Dr. Yapawolo disclosed that as part of efforts to protect and preserve Liberia's wetlands, the EPA has communicated with the Liberia National Police for the establishment of a partnership that will help the EPA in its drive to secure all quagmire areas in the country. The EPA boss further mentioned that talks are underway with the presidency for the issuance of an executive order that will create a task force with a mandate to halt future degradation of the wetlands in Liberia. International Wetlands Day was adopted in February of 1971 in Iran and designed by the United Nations to be observed as World Wetlands Day by all member countries worldwide since 1997. It is celebrated every year to raise public awareness on the conservation and sustainable use of wetlands for future generations. In Liberia, the celebration was held under the theme Protecting Wetlands for Our Common Future, and it was held in the coastal community of Marshall in Margibi County on Monday. Chief Justice Senayor has released the 2024 results for the Supreme Court's bar examination for 76 attorneys at law. Out of the 76 candidates, 53 attorneys at law successfully passed, 8 were unsuccessful, 8 were granted dispensation, while 7 were unable to sit the court's legal exams, bringing the total number to 76. The results, according to RCR judicial correspondent, shows that Attorney Stephen Kai came first, followed by Attorney Andrew Brooklet. Moreover, the Supreme Court is yet to announce the date for the successful attorney's admission into the Supreme Court's bar, but report says the admission will be done this month during the closing of the Supreme Court for its October term and to reopen on the second Monday in March 2025, consistent with Chapter 2, Section 2.5 of the Judiciary Law of Liberia. In a related development, the Supreme Court has announced the results for 76 law school graduates who sat for the attorneys at law legal exam. Out of this number, 61 law school graduates passed successfully, while 15 persons failed. The successful candidates' admissions as attorneys at law is scheduled for the second Monday in February, during the opening of circuit court for the February term of court, as provided by Chapter 3, Section 3.8 of the Judiciary Law of Liberia. Controversial House Speaker Reggie Cohn has promised to include the Federation of Road Transport Union of Liberia in the 2026 national budget. Speaking Monday at the Federation's National Convention in Painesville, Speaker Cohn said he will lobby with members of the legislature to ensure the sector receives some funding in the budget for its operations. The Masorado County District 11 representative, who highlighted challenges confronting the Federation of Road Transport Union of Liberia, said the union was founded since 1982 for the purpose of prioritizing issues that affect drivers across the country. The speaker also pledged to work with the Federation in the construction of a state-of-the-art central national parking station for the Federation. He made the statement Monday during the opening of the FRTUL ongoing convention taking place under the theme Improving the Transport Sector of Liberia through Public and Private Partnership. At the same time, the Federation of Road Transport Union has broken grounds for the construction of its modern head office in the tune of about 200,000 United States dollars. The Federation's president, Augustus Camara, said the land on which the headquarters will be built given to the union by former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Camara said the project, when completed, will be the union's national headquarters in 43 years since its formation. He disclosed during the groundbreaking that House Speaker Richard Cohn promised through the leadership of the House to provide 400 bags of cement, while the office of the president also committed to give 500 bags of cement towards the project. According to him, his leadership's quest is to bring about total transformation of the entire entity where the public will have trust and confidence in the union's operations. The political leader of the Liberty Party, Yomli Kanga Lawrence, has disclosed the holding of the party's national convention in the coming days. Making the disclosure at the party's headquarters in Monrovia, Senator Kanga Lawrence said the convention will begin February 7 to the 9th, 2025. According to her, the conference is in keeping with the party's constitution and the rules and regulations of the National Elections Commission under the theme Stronger Together to finalize and legalize our decision. Speaking Monday, the LP political leader encouraged partisans, sympathizers, well-wishers, and the public to gather on Saturday, February 8th, 2025. She said the event will begin with a parade to the new party headquarters on the Tubman Boulevard opposite the YWCA for the opening ceremony of the convention. And out of Liberia now, U.S. President Donald Trump said he will cut all future funding to South Africa over allegations that it was confiscating land and treating certain classes of people very badly. Last month, President Cyril Ramaphosa signed into law a bill that allows land seizures without compensation in certain circumstances. Land ownership has long been a contentious issue in South Africa, with most private farmland owned by white people 30 years after the end of the racist system of apartheid. On Sunday, Trump wrote on his social media platform, Truth Social, saying, "I will be cutting off all future funding to South Africa until a full investigation of this situation has been completed." He later said in a briefing with journalists that South Africa's leadership is doing some terrible things, horrible things to its citizens, making reference to the land confiscation, among others. But Ramaphosa said that the only funding South Africa received from the U.S. was through the Help Initiative, PEPFAR, which represented 17% of South Africa's HIV and AIDS program. The U.S. allocated about $440 million in assistance to South Africa in 2023, according to U.S. government data. The South African president stressed the government had not confiscated any land. Well, that's the bulletin. We're taking a short break to be back.
Ria TV, True FM.
Area TV, True FM.
On Myean TV.
Into Truth FM 96.1.
What's the meaning of the black barrier?
The black barrier is to tell Joseph Bakala, if you don't organize yourself in a grateful manner, we'll keep your data level.
You might say what you want to say, but for us, we are here to make sure we build our country, that we are respected. We have donors that are coming because of the confidence.
News Summary at 12. My name is Hanson Delta Present. Welcome to News and Analysis.
Rejoining us here on News Desk. Again, if you're just joining us, you are listening to 45 minutes of the latest news from Liberia and other parts of the world. This news program is sponsored by Orange Liberia and EcoBank Liberia Limited. Let's now bring you the voices behind the news. The Liberia Drugs Enforcement Agency has arrested a 37-year-old Kenyan national, Lana Arondo, at Rabas International Airport, attempting to smuggle 8.642 kilograms of heroin into the country. Arondo was intercepted on February 1, 2025 at around 3 a.m. upon her arrival on Ethiopian Airlines from Thailand via Addis Ababa. LDA Director General Anthony Swore has been explaining more about the arrest.
On the first at the hour of 2 o'clock at the international airport, the Kenyan nurse to be there by the name of Lena B. Rue, female, 7 years of age, the passport number BK 41-321, accepted by the Torgbean agency, and during that interception, we seized 8.642 kilograms, which equal to 8,643 grams, and each gram of heroin right now in the international market is 45. So if you count that glass, it's to you 8.43 grams, you will get 388,890. So on the overall on Ethiopia Airlines flight ETA 933 Thailand to Addis Ababa. During the preliminary investigation at the airport, a Nigerian who lives in Thailand by the name Alex, who asked her to deliver this luggage for something. So one, if there's so much media, which are there, he is the concern. Sometimes we're in the frame. While checking, our people checking, this thing has gone through over the normal procedure already. While checking, we discovered that these substances were put in here and still up. So on our full check, they detected that canopy, things can actually be that heavy. So they decided to check out these are this powder and the powder in all these, and they were concealed, put into this tube, and they built them back through everything we see each other kind of thing. Given the level of training our partners are giving our officers at different borders, they were able to detect this thing and giving the information without. So on Saturday, second whole thing, and came taking the of this thing away, and when we arrived, the actual value, not including this high actual value that we got in from each two, one thing, use this opportunity to ensure that we and we have been having mobile clinics from border to border. We are on the back. As long as we continue to design new strategy and new methods, other things, we too are beginning, and we have the national partners, friends,
He is the Director General of the Liberia Drugs Enforcement Agency, Anthony Swore, there speaking about the drug bust at the International Airport, where Kenyan national was arrested with heroin worth around 388,890 United States dollars. He spoke to the media on Monday in Monrovia. To this development, the Ministry of National Defense has released the calendar of activities marking the 68th anniversary of the Armed Forces of Liberia. Addressing a joint press conference in Monrovia, the Director of Public Affairs at the Ministry of Defense, Anthony Boakai, disclosed that on Tuesday, February 11, the AFL will be celebrating its 68th Armed Forces Day and 117 years of existence, dating back to 1908. He's been explaining more to the media in Monrovia.
There will be a symposium at the Ellen Johnson Sully Ministerial Complex in Congo time, beginning at 10:00 hours. The symposium will be held under the theme Effective Stakeholder Engagement through Interagency Collaboration for the Enhancement of Sustainable Democracy. The keynote speaker for the symposium is Dr. Alari Tupa, acting chairman of the Governance Commission, and will be moderated by Clarice Jackson of OKFM. Discussants at the symposium include Councillor Dr. Arthur T. Johnson, Assistant Professor of Law at Louis Arthur Grant School of Law, Dr. Ibrahim Yan, Deputy Minister for International Cooperation and Economic Integration, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Commissioner Ernestine Morgan, our National Election Commission, Honorable Hassan Kewu, Deputy Director General for Media Services, the Bureau Broadcasting System, and Councillor Nibani Wana, Senior Partner and Heritage Partner and Associate. On Friday, February 7, 2025, there will be a Juma service at the Fish Market Mosque, Sincon, Totmont Boulevard, beginning at 12:00 hours. On Saturday, February 8, there will be a cleaning up campaign carried out beginning from Crown Hill to Snapper Hill, commencing at 0:30 hours. On the same day, ladies and gentlemen, there will be a medical outreach at Gaia Hill, Bonning County, which will begin at 7:30. Also on the same day, which is Saturday, beginning at 10:00 hours, there will be a tournament at the Barclay Training Center, BTC. The tournament will feature football, kickball, and volleyball. Participating teams will include the Joint Security, the Department of Custom at LRA, United Bank for Africa, UBA, Liberia Bank for Development and Investment, LBDR, EcoBank Liberia Limited, and Lone Star Cell, MTN. On Sunday, which is February 9th, there will be a Thanksgiving service at the Effort Baptist Church, Kingsville City, beginning at 10:00 hours. On the D-Day, which is Tuesday, February 11th, the official celebration will kick off at 07:00 hours at the Barclay Training Center, BTC. This year, Armed Forces Day will be held under the theme Sustaining Peace and Security through Stakeholder Engagement, the role of the Armed Forces of Liberia.
He is Anthony Boakai, the Director of Public Affairs at the Ministry of National Defense, giving out activities marking this year's Armed Forces Day on February 11th. As Liberia joins other countries around the world to celebrate World Wetlands Day, the Executive Director of the Environmental Protection Agency has declared the lack of power to arrest, something he said has become an impediment to the achievement of full environmental compliance in the country. Speaking to RCA News on Monday, Dr. Emmanuel Yapaulu said attempts to protect the wetlands from the constructions of properties and the misguided dumping of garbage in Liberia have not yielded the needed results due to the lack of power to arrest violators of the law governing this sector.
International Day of Wetlands celebration. The day was actually yesterday. The president gave a proclamation making this Monday as a working holiday in Liberia for to celebrate it. To highlight the importance of wetland, It's a place that we get our food from. It's a place where the fish can breathe. But we see the wetlands is being degraded in Liberia. We at the EP, we are doing something about it. We developed a number of policy, wetland protection policy, water quality policy. Those policies are going to be enforcing them. People continue to dump trash into the wetland, build in the wetland. This is not acceptable. We're rating the police director. We are going into a memorandum of understanding. EP inspectors, when we pour hot water to people, not to build in the wetland, so that they continue. We don't have arresting power. So we want to develop an MOU with Liberia National Police so that they can help us to start to arrest people, because this is unacceptable. Additionally, we are now talking to the presidency to issue an executive order to create a task force with the mandate to halt any further degradation of the wetland in Liberia. These are the things we're talking about today. We had the Chinese ambassador. He spoke very well on China involvement in terms of global wetland protection. Mr. Yapawolo, as head of government institution responsible to regulate environmental activities in the country, what is the importance of the mangrove trees to the survival of those who reside within the coastal communities in Liberia? The mangrove in the swamp do all sort of work for us. We are about to develop carbon policy, so we can be able to get money from the mangrove. When the ocean is getting flooded, when rain is falling, and we see erosion, the mangrove can protect the coastal areas. The Chinese ambassador also informed us that the mangrove provide up to 60% of the food to coastal communities in terms of fish and all of that. So those are here in the coastal community. What can you tell them regarding the swamp protection? Many of them are also degrading the wetland. We should stop dumping trash into the wetland. We should start constructing into the wetland, because this is not good.
Well, he is the executive director of the Environmental Protection Agency, Dr. Emmanuel Yuri Yapawolo, there in conversation with RCR Lower Margibi County correspondent Edwin Keto. They spoke today during the celebration of World Wetlands Day in Marshall City, Lower Margibi County. We have passed the hour mark. This is a reminder you are listening to News Desk, 45 minutes of news from Liberia, Africa, and the rest of the world. If you are just joining us, the top stories we are following tonight: Liberia Drugs Enforcement Agency arrests a 37-year-old Kenyan woman with 8.642 kilograms of heroin worth over 388,000 United States dollars. Ministry of National Defense announces calendar of activities marking this year's Armed Forces Day celebrations. Magistrate David Fodi finally discharged from hospital after attempting to commit suicide, allegedly for being excluded from President Boakai's reappointment of magistrates across the country. And of the home front, U.S. President Donald Trump says he will cut all future funding to South Africa over allegations that he was confiscating land and treating certain classes of people very badly. Well, at this point, we'll now join Edwin Batafoyan to bring us post on News Desk tonight. Good evening, Edwin.
Good evening, Marka Davis, and good evening, everyone. Inform Mologisi FC attack of Francis Doe scored a magic winning goal to give Lofa County its second National County Sportsman Trophy. Lofa County secured this victory in the 2024-2025 edition, defeating Gbarntolmah County 2-1 on Sunday evening at the SKD in Pinzio. This marked Lofa County's second National County Sportsman title since the competition's inception in 1956. The National County Sportsman is the largest and most watched competition in Liberia due to its political nature, tribal inclusion, and promotion of unity. The event has been held annually since its formation in 1956. The match kicked off with an intense energy as both teams played well in the opening innings. Lofa got the opening goal through 16-year-old Emmanuel Flomo, and later Gbarntolmah County responded pretty well through Daniel Moore that capitalized on a rebound to level the score. Francis Doe of Wologisi FC then extended Lofa County lead 2-1 before Emmanuel misses from the spot for Gbarntolmah County. Other winners are in the kickball. Gbarntolmah County emerged victorious following the 5-1 win over Gbarntolmah County. while Lofa County defeated Sino in the basketball edition of the National County Sports Meet. Emmanuel Flomo walked away with the most valuable player after scoring 6 goals in 6 matches in the competition. Emmanuel Flomo then again was named the Golden Boot winner. The award given to a player for scoring the highest amount of goals with 6 goals in the competition. Alexander Curtis of Lofa County emerged as the best defender, while Cooper Cully of Lofa County emerged as the best coach. Junior Yenit, who maintained 1 clean sheet, 5 wins, 1 draw in 6 matches, won the best goalkeeper award with Lofa County. To this development now, the president of the Liberia Basketball Association, Abraham B. Samuka, has made an appeal to the government for increased support for the national basketball tournament, akin to the backing that football receives. Samuka call to action came after Lofa County basketball team clinched the 2025 National Basketball County Main Championship Trophy. Addressing a team of sports journalists at the grand final, he noted that the tax disparity in support between basketball and football, urging the government to allocate more resources to the county basketball tournament to enhance team preparation for future. And Pinsville FC has completed the signing of 20-year-old defender Rajat Smith as a free agent. Rajat has committed to the club until 2030. Rajat has been one of the best defenders in the group stage of the just international county sports meet, representing his parent county Grand Crew. The former Stage FC player signed 5 years contract with the Orange Cup winner. With many suitors for his signature, Rajat chose to sign for the Citizens, bringing much needed depth in addition quality to the team's backline. And away from Liberia now, Real Madrid suffered 1-0 defeat to Espanyol on March the 21 of the Spanish La Liga Santander feature. Atletico Madrid recorded a 2-0 win over Mallorca to close the gap, while Barcelona recorded a 1-0 victory through the contest of Robert Lewandowski against Deportivo Aves. In the Premier League, Arsenal dragged Manchester City 5-1 at Emirates Stadium to close the gap with Liverpool on the log. Well, that's it for the sports.
Ria TV, True FM.
Say Ria TV, True FM.
On Ria TV.
Into Truth FM 96.1.
Liberia in the 2026 national budget. Speaking Monday at the Federation's National Convention opening in Pinsville, Speaker Kuhn said he will lobby with members of the House and the legislature in general to ensure the sector receives some funding in the budget for its operations.
Federation of Road Transport Union was founded in 1982 for the sole purpose of speaking on behalf of drivers who could not speak for themselves. We are fully aware that you have and continue to face lots of challenges. That's why we take special recognition of your team for the year convention, improving transport sector of Liberia through public and private partnership. As a change for the convention, this team is very crucial and necessary in today's world. We take special recognition of this and therefore pledge to foster the following. 1. We are going to work with the Federation and other recruiting organizations to make sure we have a state-of-the-art Central National Park station here at the Olinga site, an internationally standardized parking station that will not only improve transport infrastructure but also improve security of travelers and safety for their goods. As Speaker of the Republic of Liberia, I will work with my colleagues to make sure that this federation plays in our national budget.
Meanwhile, the Federation of Road Transport Union has broken grounds for the construction of modern head office in the tune of 200,000 United States dollars. The Federation's president, Augustus Camara, said the land on which the headquarters will be built was given to the union by former President Eli Johnson Sirleaf. He said a project, when completed, will be the union's national headquarters in 43 years since its formation.
USD, the national headquarters for the Federation of Transport Union in 43 years. National headquarters, that is the face of the organization. You need to have it. It was a hard one. It's to carry on the construction. Yes. What did he say to you? Did the program break? Why you the game? He said the house will give 400 bags of cement, and the president of it will give 500. What's the show you're going to give to the public? Are you guys going to work it? No, we're going to rebrand. We're going to rebrand. Sooner or later, you'll see vehicles coming over here. You know, we're gonna change the structure of the organization. So I call it under the confidence and hope would be the unity. Yes, definitely.
He is the president of the Federation of Road Transport Union of Liberia, Augustus Kamara, there speaking during groundbreaking for the union's national headquarters in Ominga, Peninsula. Earlier on, you listen to House Speaker Richard Cohn, who addressed the opening of the Federation's convention for this year. While to this development, Liberty Party is planning for its national convention in the coming days. The party's political leader, Nyobli Kanga Lawrence, made the disclosure in Monrovia on Monday.
Have waited patiently and hopefully for the announcement that will bring our party together. After 4 months of reconciliation engagements by a joint committee from both sides of the divide, we are pleased to announce to all of our partisans, friends, sympathizers, well-wishers, and the public that the Liberty Party is once again one unit under the leadership of Senator Yombi Kanga Lawrence. In keeping with the party's constitution and the rules and regulations of the National Election Commission, we will on Friday, the 7th to Sunday, the 9th of February, host a national convention under the theme Stronger Together to finalize and legalize our decision. The details of the process and procedures will be discussed and approved at the convention. However, I wish to extend my thanks and appreciation to all of our partisans for trusting and believing in us, and for the excitement and enthusiasm that we have seen since the process commenced. We are inviting all partisans to gather on Saturday, February 8th, 2025 at 8 a.m. for a parade to our new party headquarters on the Torgbean Boulevard, opposite the YMCA where we are now, for the opening ceremony of our convention. Come, let's reunite. Come, let's show love to one another. Together.
Senator Yombi Kanga Lawrence is the political leader of the Liberty Party. They're making that disclosure. Well, folks, this is how we love to draw the curtains on tonight's presentation of News Decks. But before we go, a recap of the headlines. Liberia Drugs Enforcement Agency arrests a 37-year-old Kenyan woman with 8.642 kilograms of heroin worth over 388,000 United States dollars. Ministry of National Defense announces calendar of activities marking this year's Armed Forces Day celebrations. Magistrate David Fode finally discharged from hospital after attempting to commit suicide, allegedly for being excluded from President Marka's reappointment of magistrates across the country. And on the home front, U.S. President Donald Trump says he will cut all future funding to South Africa over allegations that the country was confiscating land and treating certain classes of people very badly, according to the BBC. Many thanks to all of you for your listening. Thanks to our reporters, correspondents, and all those who helped to make this edition of News Decks a success. Thanks to our sponsors, Orange Liberia and EcoBank Liberia Limited. Edwin Batafoyan brought us post tonight. Cooper Sangas are control and coordinated the sounds. Myean Torgbean has been behind the cameras, carrying us live on Real TV on Facebook. Well, my name is Marka Davis. Good night.
Real TV, True FM.
Real TV, True FM.
On Real TV,
into True FM 96.1.
What's the meaning of the black barrier?
The black barrier is to tell Joseph Bakala, if you don't organize yourself in a grateful manner, we'll keep you later.
You might say what you want to say, But for us, we are here to make sure we build our country, that we are respected. We have donors that are coming because of the confidence.
News Summary of 12. My name is Hansen the Represent. Welcome to News and Analysis 30 minutes of news presentation about Liberia, Africa, and our one world.
Presenting this newscast is proudly sponsored by Orange Liberia and EcoBank Liberia Limited.
How is life after the presidency?
But before the presidency, the same life, that's what you see. I live a different life. You know, when I was not president, this life, that's what I live, you know, with my family and
I have a lot of interest in the health sector, the educational sector, and the agriculture sector. Roads, connecting roads in this country.
We are calling international community to come to intervene for us because, like I just stated previously, we don't know who to trust.
Always make sure to turn on to our
Myean TV and listening to Truth FM 96.1.